All right, if you're gearing up for NEET, you already know physics can be a real rank decider, right? But what if I told you there's a topic that basically hands you some of the most predictable marks on the entire exam? Well, today, we're going to crack the code on projectile motion.
So, the million-dollar question, right? How do you actually guarantee marks in physics, the section that trips up so many people? Is there some secret trick, a shortcut everyone else knows about?
Well, believe it or not, it's way simpler than you think. It's all about focusing your energy. You just have to master the high-yield topics. You know, the ones that pop up year after year without fail. And let me tell you, projectile motion is an absolute superstar on that list.
Okay, let's dive right in. Look, the reason projectile motion can actually feel, well, kind of easy is because the entire topic is built on one single powerful idea. If you get this one thing, I promise you, everything else just clicks into place.
And here it is, the key concept, the independence of motion. So what does that actually mean? It means you can think of a projectile's journey as two totally separate movies playing at the exact same time. You've got one movie about it moving sideways and a completely different movie about it moving up and down. And the crazy part? They don't mess with each other at all.
Just look at how this breaks down. On the left, you've got the horizontal motion. And it's super simple. Just constant velocity, zero acceleration, it just cruises along. But then on the right, you've got the vertical motion, which is this whole dramatic story of being constantly pulled down by gravity. That gives it a constant downward acceleration, what we call negative g. So you have these two completely different plots happening. What's the one thing that links them? That arrow right in the middle tells you everything you need to know. It's time. Time is the only thing these two stories have in common.
All right, so that's the core concept, the foundation of everything. Now, let's build on that. And here's the good news, okay? You do not need to memorize a giant list of formulas. Nope. You just need a small, really powerful toolkit.
Now, if you're going to put one tool right at the very top of that toolkit, let it be this one, the formula for horizontal range. This thing shows up constantly in past year questions. I'm serious. You need to make this formula your absolute best friend.
And there it is, your entire high-yield toolkit, all on one slide. You've got time of flight, that's how long the thing is in the air, maximum height, pretty obvious, how high it goes, and of course, horizontal range, how far it travels sideways. I'm telling you, these three formulas right here will solve the huge majority of problems you're going to see. Seriously, pause right now and take a screenshot. This is pure gold for your revision.
Okay, now for a little pro tip, a secret weapon, really. The people who make the exam papers, they love asking about the maximum possible range. And guess what? This happens at one magic angle, 45 degrees. See, at that angle, the sine 2 theta part of the formula becomes sine of 90, which is just 1. So the whole thing simplifies down beautifully. Knowing this little trick can save you so much time in the exam.
Look, knowing the formulas is half the battle. But avoiding the common traps, that's what separates the people who get top ranks from everyone else. So let's talk about how to protect those precious marks you've worked so hard for.
Okay, here are the three big traps you need to watch out for. First up, sign convention. Just be consistent, okay? My advice, always make up positive, which means gravity, AY, becomes negative g. It's the safest way to go. Second, complementary angles. You got to remember that two different angles, like 30 degrees and 60 degrees, can give you the exact same horizontal range. Don't let that confuse you. And finally, the all-time classic mistake, mixing up velocity and speed.
Let's zoom in on that last trap because it's a big one. Think about it. At the very highest point of its flight, the projectile stops going up for just a split second, right? So its vertical velocity, v sub y, is 0. But, and this is the part everyone forgets, it's still moving forward. Its horizontal velocity, v sub x, hasn't changed at all. So, is the total velocity 0? No way! And that means its speed, which is just the magnitude, is at its lowest point, sure, but it is definitely not 0. Getting this right is a massive checkpoint for understanding the whole topic.
All right, you've got the core concept. You've got your formula toolkit. You even know the traps to avoid. So, how do we put this all together when you're actually sitting in that exam hall and the clock is ticking down?
Just follow this simple 3-step game plan every single time. 1. Analyze. Read the question and just pull out the variables they give you. You know, the initial velocity, u, the angle, theta, and so on. 2. Select. Figure out what they're asking for. Is it range, height, time? Then just pick the right formula from your toolkit.
And 3, solve. Carefully plug in your values, remember your sign conventions, and solve. That's it. It's simple, it's repeatable, and it takes the stress out of it.
So why have we spent all this time focused on just this one topic? The answer is right here. 1 to 2 questions, guaranteed, every single year. We're talking 4 to 8 marks that are just sitting there, waiting for you to come and collect them.
So for your final revision, please keep it focused. Make sure you are absolutely rock solid on the formulas for time of flight, maximum height, and horizontal range. You master those 3, and trust me, you'll be ready for almost anything they can throw at you on this topic.
So there you have it. You've got the core concept, you've got the tools, and you've got the exam day strategy. The only thing left to do now is practice. So really, the question isn't if you can solve these problems anymore. The only question is, which past year question are you going to solve first? Now go get those marks.